All right, we got that going.
Yes.
Time for step 2, which is
Yes.
find the right one, and then
Yes.
go 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Hey.
Oh,
Hello.
It's Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Almost said 2013. We're not in the past.
Oh
Sure.
my God. No.
It's time for another Rive Live. Now, we're running with a little bit of a skeleton crew, not so skeleton. We're only missing a couple folks because they are in Lisbon.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for DevGam. We'll be talking to folks about Rive's potential as a UI thing. What would you call it? A UI solution.
Yeah.
UI tool. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to see you guys. Let's go ahead and get started by looking at we're going to look at what happened last week and what's going to happen this week. So last week, Laura had a creative session. Laura,
yes.
what did you do in your creative session?
I went through a really cool project. Let me see if I can share. Not here. No. Okay. Give me a second. The project was you've probably seen in a lot in social media. It's one of a fighter's menu.
Yep.
And okay, there it is. There it is. Oh,
Gotcha.
no, it's okay. So this is really, really cool. What I went a little bit through how you can do this menu with a selection of the character, and I focus only on the player 1. There's 2 players to choose your character, as you can see, one on each side. But I went just a little bit over this project that was designed by Sherry Liu and animated by Robert and Michael. These characters here, these really, really cool characters. And I used nested inputs and events, which is also a new feature, and it's really, really cool. I'm still wrapping my head around events, so I was all over the place during the live stream, but now I think I'm getting to know a little better how they work. Yes, that was it. If you wanna check it out, it's on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
And there's a link in the chat.
There's a link in the chat as well.
So yeah, check that out. That's a really cool project. We actually sat down last week and talked through the project just to kind of wrap our heads around how it all works. Now, we were supposed to do a workshop last week, but we didn't do it. And there are a few reasons why. The first one is we wanted to make sure we had a couple more demos ready that weren't just, super, super, super simple. So we could talk about the workflow and we could talk a little more at like a high level about how you should be thinking about using the nested inputs and events, because it really does force you to think more like a dev and less like an animator to get more complex things working. So we got, what is a C-bum? I don't know what that is. So anyways, we got more examples ready, and we are going to do a workshop this Thursday to go over nested inputs, events, things like that. So that's going to happen on Thursday. On Wednesday, we also have a Spanish live stream. It's going to be Laura and JC. I don't know if Pedro is going to make a special appearance.
Yeah, I guess no. I guess, but yeah,
we'll see.
we're going to have it.
He might be there. He might not. If not, the show will go on. And also, I will be doing a creative session on Wednesday. I haven't 100% decided on what I'm going to do yet. It's either going to be one of two things. And you guys can let me know what you want to see. The first one is making little menu pages and getting progressively more complex with each one. And we can go over nested inputs and events. Or since this is a nested artboard thing, I thought about busting out the old duck hunt game that I started a long time ago that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, and trying to put together a level or two for that, or actually just trying to put it all together using nested inputs and events and things like that. So those are the two things that I'm thinking about doing. We'll see which one I decide to go with. Who knows? So that is this week. We also had a bunch of new releases. Hey, you got to love new releases. All right. So the first release that we had last week, we had a new, okay. Yeah. So the follow path constraint can now target paths and not just shapes. So instead of selecting a shape and then hoping you get the right path, you can select the exact path that you want. If your shape has a bunch of different paths in it. And then there's a bunch of fixes and improvements, like resolved issues with state machine nested inputs not being correctly validated in the runtimes, bunch of updates to listeners, fixed some crashes when marquee selecting multiple keys, fixed another crash when triggering a nested input. If you want to check out those, make sure you join the Discord or go to rive.app/changelog to read all about it. Now, if you're part of the Discord, you saw today, we just released a Unity runtime. Now, it's not the full Unity runtime. I'll let Zach talk a little bit more about this, but it's a run. Are we calling this a tech preview, Zach? What are we calling this? Or is it just tech preview? So it's a tech preview for Unity, so you can make stuff, bring it into Unity with some limitations. Zach, do you want to talk a little bit about the Unity release today?
Yeah, so like Robert mentioned, this is a tech preview, so we're still hammering things out. But it was definitely important because I know a lot of folks in the community have wanted this and have wanted to try it out. So definitely use it for that. The limitations come in a few things. So first, when you look at the docs on our Rive guide on our site, you'll see that not all Rive features are supported yet. So the runtime will support things like listeners and running state machines, but there are some things that we still need to iron out, such as adding events and what else? Setting state machine inputs, updating text, and things like that. And that's all very important and prioritized things that we're going to nail down pretty soon here. And then the second set of limitations right now is the rendering backend support. So right now it supports Metal on Mac and iOS platforms, and then D3D11 and OpenGL on Windows. And so we have planned support for other things such as Vulkan and WebGL and other backend things like that. So just keep an eye out for our Rive guide where we'll update the supported backends as those things release, and we'll make some noise about it as well once some other major backends are implemented.
Now, we do have a little example that got cooked up to show off the fact that you can put things into Unity now. This was something I think Gordon worked on. Zach, you want to show it off a little bit?
So Gordon is at that DevGam Lisbon conference right now. So I'm going to show off his work that he did with testing out the Unity runtime. And you can find this on the Rive Unity examples repo that's also included in the docs. And you can run this locally. But here I'm showing off Unity. And we have this kind of cool, like curved heads-up display thing with assets that the team here has built. And so I'm just shooting, and you can kind of see this overheat thing going on. And there are some other inputs going on that we're not triggering, such as like the health and shield, and some other awesome stuff baked in the Rive file that I don't think the runtime supports just yet. But you can kind of see it working here. And if we tap into, this might be a little small, but you can see that you can preview your Rive assets in Unity. And so that's another thing that's supported. But yeah, there's some guidance, there's some code snippets on how to actually add the Rive runtime. Basically, you would just add it via the package manager, and you would reference a tagged version of the GitHub repo, the Rive Unity GitHub repo, and that's all you really need to get started. And again, you can check out the Rive Unity examples repo, which is separate, to find some out-of-the-box things that you can test locally. And yeah, it should be exciting. I'm excited to continue playing with it. And I'm personally still learning a whole ton about Unity and game dev, so it's super fun. Yeah, I'm excited to see what people come up with in the community.
Yeah, me too. I'm also excited for when we finally get like the state machine inputs and things like that, and events and all the bells and whistles, which I'm sure. Well, I say I'm sure. I know that all that stuff is still being worked on, and it'll be here soon.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Nope. I think that's everything that's been added. Now let's talk about what's coming in the future. Very soon. So last week, we got some quality of life updates. You're going to get some more quality of life updates and a couple, I don't know, maybe new sounding things that could be really cool. I don't know. There's things coming very soon that are going to be really, really exciting. But there's a couple quality of life things like the bone tool. Right now, you can't like marquee select whenever you have, or the weight tool, whenever you have the weight tool activated. That's going to be fixed. There's some new improvements to assets coming soon. There's a lot of really cool stuff heading to the editor fairly soon. And I'm excited for all of those.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this one's going to be a little bit weird, but even though he's not here, we're going to keep the segment living on. So it's time for
Pedros Picks of the Week.
Yep, it's time for Pedro's Picks of the Week without Pedro. So let's go ahead and get it started. Let's see what Pedro has brought us, because he still, like always, provides the best community files ever. Okay, so this is the first one by Zach Davenport, pixel art maker thing. So let's make a little pixel art thing. Let's go like, oh, what is all of this? Oh, you can change the color.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and you can make it a square and a circle. Wait, hang on. We need a square here. Can I get a square? Square me? Okay.
Is that.
That.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. All right. So we need this and this. This.
Oop, now the corner.
Oh,
There.
Whoa.
Yes.
This is amazing.
and it is it's an alien. Let's give it some different color eyes. Spooky.
Yes.
And it needs a,
Space Invaders.
yeah, it needs a body. There we go. Look at that spaceship, dude. How cool. Yeah, this is a really cool example.
One thing, I was following him on X or Twitter as he was kind of working on this. He is doing like ink prints, making like Lego, kind of like you do like woodcut.
Yeah.
But he was using this to make like ink prints. That's really cool.
Really?
So you could,
Wow.
yeah, you design it here and then rebuild it with Lego and then make little prints. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh,
Oh.
dude, this is pretty sweet. It's almost one of my favorite community files. All right. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Now, this is a little mini game. I love all these mini games today. All right. We got to figure out, what is this thing? Hover over to reveal the image.
Nice.
Yeah, that is cool too.
Mhm.
So we got to go pretty fast. Ooh, I think it's a piece of bread.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought moon, but yeah.
It's bread. Oh, there's more than one.
Oh.
What is that?
Yes.
Okay, that's a tree.
Tree.
Yeah. So it can
Probably.
be
I think
volcano.
I know what it is.
Kind of looks like a
a
dirt road.
factory, no?
Yeah, I
Maybe-
go with Zach.
Ooh, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?
I think it's a sailing on a dirt road. Oh!
Yes.
All right, one more. All right, is it a
Cat,
rabbit,
easy.
a cat, or a
It's a
fox?
cat.
No, it's not a cat.
Right.
You don't even have to show me. I knew
It's
it would
not
be
a
a cat.
Look at those ears. Oh, yeah, got to check the nose. Look at that nose. That's a rabbit nose.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What is a rabbit?
Yeah.
1 out of 3. What?
No.
Dude.
Hey.
Absolutely not. Pro Yo Art. I was going to give a huge thumbs up to this one, but let me tell you,
That's cool.
I 3 out of 3'd that, and I was robbed of my results.
It feels like captchas, though, isn't it? Like you're like, no, I absolutely selected everything that had a stoplight, and
Yes.
somehow
Yes.
it didn't register.
Exactly.
Feels right.
All right, now we go. Ooh, this one's fun. So here's a little faux 3D card test for you. I think we shared this one on the tweeter.
Hmm.
Petros sample tile. I want to buy this. I love the little dance.
It is cool.
Ooh, and you can toggle it on and off. The mushroom trees in the background are so cool. I love the parallax that they did with the
Yeah.
raster assets. Very
There's
nice.
like a little subtle, how you call, like bee,
Oh yeah,
the
the grid.
texture.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a holographic texture or whatever. Super cool. All right, let's look at the next one. Ooh, this one's nice. This goes back to
When it comes.
I see this meme on TikTok and I don't know, whatever, where it's like the designer's just like singing while he's making this little animated button, and then it switches over to the developer who's like trying to code as fast as he can to like do it all. Not with Rive, boy. That's nice.
This is really nice. Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Ooh, here's something from the old Draws Good. Who is that guy? I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah. Oh, he's not here.
Oh, oops. I'm sorry. Here we go. All right, what's the backstory with this, Michael?
I think somebody created a breathing text animation that was just using the variable weight. And so this is all inside of Rive using a couple modifiers and ranges. And yeah, it's just a fun little interesting animation. So
I need to learn controlled breathing.
you know what's funny? When I was trying to mess with the modifiers, I had to think. It wasn't as straightforward as I thought it would be initially, but once I got it figured out, so I wasn't necessarily controlling my breathing the whole time, to be honest. But I got it figured out. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, I know this is easy, and then you just set out to do it, and you're like, okay, maybe I underestimated how.
This is with variables, no?
Yeah. Yep. So the trickiest part was just having them emanate from the center and go out. So just playing with the ranges and the fall off and things like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up breaking them both into 2 runs, just to make things a little easier. But I was like, maybe you could do something with like the multiply, the settings in the range where you can use like add,
Yeah.
subtract, multiply. So I'd like to continue playing with that. But playing with modifiers, text modifiers is a really fun thing, just because there's still so much unexplored territory there, I think, with what you can do.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Ooh, this one's called Progress Tube. I didn't even share it. Hang on. Again, need better share flow. Here we go. All right, so what do we do here? I bet there's an input on the right side. Hang on. We got to go full screen with this. Oh.
Yeah, I think works with. Oops.
Whoa. How do I get it to? What is this? Oh, I saw things moving. Here we go. Oh, okay. Hang on. We're dragging.
Oh,
It's in modo crazy now.
It's like a video game puzzle, trying to figure out how to
and
unlock the thing.
what's up with the
figure it out.
progress?
Yeah, the progress move the liquid to one side to another.
Oh, there we go.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is this what's happening in my stomach after I eat Chipotle?
yes. Not Chipotle, Taco Bell.
Taco, there you go. It's probably better, yeah.
I wish I could make it go to 0. Work it.
No. 5. Maybe it's change.
It does look cool though. I just wish I knew how to work it.
It's looking good though.
Okay, let's go on to the next one here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, okay. This is like someone made a web page. All right, let's see who's right in an argument. I mean, I already know that it's me.
Oh.
Whoa.
Player 1 wins.
Nice.
Alright,
This is the okay.
How do I scoop the dice back up?
Maybe you have to reset.
All right, who
Yeah,
wants to play?
Player 2 wins.
Okay, let's see. Oh, one wins again. Very cool. Apple dice. Was this like an Apple thing that I totally missed?
I don't know.
Yeah. This is interesting to see the machine and check how this works. Yeah.
I wonder if they're using Laura's randomizer.
Maybe.
That is cool. Yeah.
All right, so somebody wanted to build a little project so that they could experiment with nested artboards. So what this thing does is it, depending on the color configuration, you've got this text readout here. You've also got this number that changes. It's like there's no red circles. All 3 of them are green, and there are no blue circles. There's no red circles. 2 are green, and there's 1 blue. So you've got your text changing depending on what this is. You've got this text changing, and you can mouse over the character, click on the character, make it do little stuff.
That's cool.
So this is a nice little example of, or a nice little practice project to use or to learn how to do nested artboards. So I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that one's in the community. So if you want a little project to try out, grab that. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. Virus in your window. That's scary.
Don't open it. Don't do it.
It's too late. It's too late. I've already done it.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. What happens if we tap here? I'm scared. Ah!
Virus is cute.
I wish getting computer viruses were that fun.
Yeah, no
I'd
kidding.
be like,
It's a cute virus. Eh?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
They're in here stealing all my cookies.
Oh, I really like that. That's
Yeah, me too. All right. Oh. What do we got? What's next?
There's more.
There. Listen, Pedro never disappoints, okay? Ooh, this one's kind of nice. Let me start this over. This is a little bit of a raster animation, animating the trees on the mountainside, and the clouds. Oops, thank you. We're going to restart it again. Hang on. All right, so trees on the mountainside being animated, all mesh animations, and then you got your clouds. Then I think we scroll down and get a little text. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, this is running in Flutter, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see that little debug banner.
All I know is I want to go to the hills. What was the hills called? These, the Janita Hills.
I really like the tree, the wind blowing through the trees. Like it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that mesh is pretty, I mean, simple, but I'm making an assumption, but the effect is really nice with that level of, the detail that you're at. Like it does feel like that big wind gust swaying those trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do a lot with, not having to mesh out each individual tree.
Yeah, no kid, that would be a nightmare. Yeah, this is really nice. All right, I think we have one more. We do have one more. All right, if you are interested in learning how to make a health bar, JC put together a little tutorial that was shared on both Twitter and YouTube. It's about 2 minutes long. So really quick, you can learn how to make a little health bar. And it has little hearts and stuff that go away whenever the health bar goes down.
Yes, in this case, let me show you the file. If I can, because I have a lot of things here. Oh my God. Nah. A moment. Only the problem.
And we are trying to make more tutorials like that one. Just little short ones to show you how to do quick projects and stuff that we can share on social media and YouTube. And then I guess did you share that file out in the community, JC?
Not yet. Let me do something first. Okay. Oop,
oh,
no, sorry. So let me, because I have some example here, but I think it's this. So it's very simple because what it did here is create this bar in that way that you have the whole control about the bar and the hertz too. So here, for example, let's move this to 100. So the bar when we start is 100 and the life is 3. So now when the state machine start, we have this full and the 3 lives. So you can control the bar like this, And when the body is 0, you can control the number of life. One thing I can do is when the bar is 0, I can remove 1 of the life. But in this case, it's more simple if you control this, because you can say, okay, I lose 2 life, but in one moment I can win, recover 1 of the life, so I can go back. So it's more flexible, no? This is the basic idea. Yeah, it's very simple because the bar is only a blank state with the 2 positions. You can see that this is the 0 position at the 100%. And I use the blend additive, because with the blend additive, 50% is the middle exactly. The problem we have with the blend state with the 1D, that the way this blend state mix is different. So in this case, I use the additive because that. And the other thing is for the live, I have these 3 animations. When it's 3 that have this simple animation, each of them. And then here in the estimation, I use any state because it's more easy to change between these different states, and the value I use for each of them, no? The 3, 2, 1, and 0, no? And that's it. It's very simple, but works pretty well. So you can move the life like this, or you can increase the value depending on the game, no? And yeah, it's very, very simple.
Yeah, so if you want to learn how to make that, again, the tutorial's on Twitter and on YouTube, so you can find it in either place. All right, that's it. That's what we got for Pedro's Picks of the Week. Even though he's in Lisbon, he's still giving us all the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through questions. And if we don't have any questions, we're going to get out of here. But I know we have one. Okay. I'm looking through all the feedback between either Duck Hunt or menus. We're going to do a menu. We're going to do increasingly difficult menu pages. So we're going to start with something simple and then go to something that's still simple, but a little more difficult. And then we're going to go into ultra mode and do something that I was working on this morning that was giving me lots of headaches. But I figured it out. So I'll share that tomorrow. Let's see. Any info on blurs?
Yeah. None now. None. We don't have nothing more. Only the thing that all this effect, blur, dark shadow, and all this will have with the new render. So when the new render is in everywhere, no, now we have this. I think it's in.
We've got the renderer in a couple places. iOS,
a couple places
Android.
only. Yeah. And the only thing is we need the new render in the editor too.
Yep.
To use all these too, because it's more faster with the new render. So yeah, we're waiting for this movement. Yeah.
And when blurs get here, you're also going to get drop shadows and glows and all the other good stuff too.
Yeah, and another thing we talking yesterday too is now we have this thing that when you have different shapes in a group and you want to change the opacity, all the shapes mixed together. We don't have this. So what I mean is the opacity don't work like this group is flat, no? All the shape mixed together. With the new render, this thing will be fixed too, because let us to change a little bit how it works, so we can change the opacity of a group and work like you expect. So yeah, this is the other thing.
Yep, a lot of cool stuff going to get unlocked when the renderer finally makes it here. And I mean, it's soonish. You know what I mean? Like, it is out in the wild in a couple places, but there's still a couple more things that need to get cleaned up there before it's ready for everything. All right, question for you, JC. Your hearts aren't nested artboards?
Yeah, no. In this case, no. In this case, it's in the main board, but you can you can animate in nested artboard and bring to the main artboard. But in this case, because it's very simple, I create in the same. Yeah.
Will the new renderer for web reach us this year? Maybe for Christmas? That's a good question. Zach?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it before, but like the extension for WebGL that's needed to basically help make the renderer possible in the web, that had to be implemented by all the major browsers, and that last I heard was in Chrome Canary, but we haven't. We need to test it still and actually see and do the work there. So if anything, I would imagine at most maybe a tech preview, but I imagine the web will be, because we are dependent on all the major browsers to support this. We'll probably not. It'll come a little later.
I guess we'll see then.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. No more questions for right now.
Yeah, let me see something about the Brian question about the hertz. One thing is that if you use nested artboard, it's better because you only need to create the animation one time, no 3 times that I have, no. But because this animation is very simple and it's only 3 elements, the difference is not too big. But if you care the performance and you have more complex thing, the best is use nested artboard. So, yeah. It's only that. Oh, this is my baby.
All right, another question for the renderer. Well, could you release it sooner so we can start building for the future?
I am also very keen. I think there's sometimes we get these like in support, we'll get some very, very involved Rive files that on the surface look really nice and, you know, might perform at like 120 FPS or something, but can bog down like the CPU. And in some cases, it's just up to like the browser's renderer. Sorry, I got distracted. It is up to the browser's renderer just for like the performance bottlenecks. And so, yeah, we definitely want to get into the web, also, especially for like, you know, our editor, but definitely from a web perspective, I'm following up always to see, you know, what when we can start integrating that. But you all will be the first to know for sure.
Yeah, it seems that we don't have more questions.
I've got one thing. I just saw on the Twitter. I'm just gonna say Twitter. I can't. X just sounds like sick.
X.
Sorry. Jeff was on a show. It's Dive. I think it's kind of a channel where they do interviews and things like that. And so that was just released, I believe, today. So I'm going to drop the link in here. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a Rive fan and a Webflow fan. There's lots of good stuff. And Jeff always does a great job of explaining and teaching as he's going along. So let's go ahead and drop that in. Make sure it didn't boot it. Okay, cool. So yeah, go check that out. I think it's like a 45-minute interview demo kind of thing. So definitely worth the watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you back?
Boo. There was a knock on the door or something. You know.
Okay.
Oh, there it's Jeff.
All right. Well, I think we'll hang out for another 5 minutes and then get out of here. I think that sounds fair. See if we got any more questions come in. Did anybody learn anything last week?
I
Don't
have
mix
something.
your whites and colors
In the laundry?
in the laundry. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. I turned a white shirt pink once. I've done it.
Yeah, I've done that before.
and a white shirt like baby blue. That was embarrassing.
Is it okay if you use cold water? Like, do you still get? Isn't it when it's
Hot water?
heat that it's
Yeah, I don't know. I just default everything to cold water now. I don't know what the real difference is between hot and cold water aside from the temperature. But the chemical reaction, the covalent bonds or whatever that break down, I don't get into all that.
Also, don't break leaves too early in the fall because they're not all off the trees, so you're gonna have to go do it again anyway. So just, I know these aren't Rive things I learned with Rive, but
now question about leaf raking. Are you a leaf pile raker and then you let your kids jump in it, or no? Absolutely not.
So they do. That does happen. So we've got like 4 piles in the backyard that are just sitting there that are waiting to be jumped in, but also at some point have to be actually like taken care of. So I'll just leave it at this. I do not like dealing with leaves. So if I could just leave them, I'd be totally happy doing that. But I feel like neighbors get kind of antsy and they're like, your leaves are blowing into my yard and I've already taken care of them. And it's just gets to be a whole issue. So
just rake them into your neighbor's yard. Nobody cares. I want to ask about extension support, but I already know the answer. It's in the future. If we put on our future looking goggles, we can see that extension support will be coming in the future. So yeah, you're right.
I have something to share.
Ooh, I like that.
One sec here. All right, so okay. The other week we released kind of a lighter version of the web runtime. And so basically, for some backstory here, when we introduced Rive text into our runtimes, that includes a text engine dependency that's included in the build, and specifically for the web runtime, it's something that's included at build time for the runtime in our WebAssembly file or the WASM file. And if you use our web runtimes, you may have noticed in that major version bump when we introduced Rive text that the package size may have gone up in size a bunch. And it is due to that dependency because of the need to support a very robust like text solution for Rive. But we also recognize that there's not a ton of people who need Rive text for example, like smaller micro animations on their site or things that don't involve text. And so we released this Rive app Canvas Lite package that you can install in your apps or include the script for in your HTML files. And it should be a much smaller package size when bundled with your application. And it won't support Rive text, but that doesn't mean it will break your application. So for example, if you have a Rive file that used existing Rive text, basically it'll still render the graphic. It just won't show the Rive text, and there won't be an error like in your console or anything. It's just kind of bypassing that part of the render and draw cycle. So if that's a need for some folks, we've included some guidance, I think, in the web runtime section. Here's a little note about the Canvas Lite package. If you use the low-level runtime, there's also Canvas Lite Advanced, which you can also download. And then I think if you link this, there's some notes about why it's small. And so you can do some reading in our docs about this new package. So I know that's been an issue brought up on the GitHub repo for the web runtime. And so we're excited to finally get that out as a nice solution to still keep package sizes small for your apps and things like that.
Nice. All right, 2 questions. Any new Rive merch in the pipeline? Now we are going to start selling future glasses. Those are going to happen. But no, I don't think so right now. maybe that's something we'll do soon. Nah, not soon. I can't even say soon. We don't really have any plans for new Rive merch. Just shirts and stickers for now. Plans for a runtime challenge. Interesting.
That'd be
Now,
cool.
Jeff, you know what you should do? I don't know if y'all have seen Josh hanging around Discord. Bug Josh. Ask Josh. In fact, go on Discord and say, hey, at Josh, we're gonna have a runtime challenge. And we'll see what he has to say. And in case you didn't know, if you weren't here last week, Josh is our new community manager. So you'll see him hanging around, asking trying to answer y'all's questions and things like that. So if you want to bug anybody on Discord, bug Josh. And we'll have him on the stream at some point. About scripting support. I wrote this in the feature request, but what are your thoughts on separating scripted and non-scripting Rive files so .rivs could stay for animation and imaginary .rivexes? .rive with script. Separating scripted and non-scripted.
You can export the file.
Being able to
format, one format with the script. And
got it.
only. I'm sure now, but I guess we don't need two extensions in general. I mean, I think with the scripting we can export the file with animation without scripting, or with scripting too.
Yeah, there's been some discussion about this, like technically how it would work and how we would like include the scripts at export time. Whether or not that's like a JavaScript file, a WASM file, or something. But that it's up for consideration still. And so, it's still early on discussions, but I imagine there'll be some kind of like separation. There'll be some like kind of separation. But yeah, we're still very early on in those discussions. So that's a good point to bring up.
Yeah, and it's good that you put that in the feature request. If you have thoughts for like scripting and things like that, it's good to get them in now while there's still a lot of discussion going on and all that. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm both looking forward to and very scared of scripting, because it'll just be one more thing to have to learn how to do. But I think the possibilities for when scripting lands are pretty huge. All right. Any thoughts on a new input type, an integer? The idea is to be able to do +1, -1, set to 100, set to 0 in response to listeners. Now, this is something that we've been campaigning for internally for a while. There are a number of listener types that we'd like to add, or listener actions and listener types and things like that. And we're not sure whether or not they're going to be a part of listeners or if it's just going to be something that we deal with scripting. Not 100% sure on that yet, but I do agree. Like a what would you call this? Like an increase or decrease listener type, or increase integer. What have we've referred to it as something?
I think just like a increment.
Increment.
Or like, I think just being able to add like that +1 action or -1, so that every time that number input is interacted with a certain listener, it increases or decreases. And then
now the set to already happened.
That's interesting. Yeah,
we already have that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think incrementing is like the big thing, and I would really like incrementing because you can do it, but you have to kind of get around it right now. With events, you can do it with events now. Yeah, I would just add an input type, call it integer or counter or whatever. I just want an increment action where every time I hit next, it increments my number input, blah, 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 by 1 or half or whatever we decide to, I'm sure there'd be like some kind of property. All right. Well, we went way past the 5 minutes. Started having some good questions come in. Questions or laundry. That's what you get.
Oh, the person that made that pixel generator just entered the chat.
Oh, is that Zach?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pixel thing, very cool.
Yeah.
I made a little spaceship. Why isn't there an offline version, like a standalone.exe file? Well, it's mostly a matter of priority right now. There's a lot of things that we still need to add to the app, and an offline mode isn't as easy as like export or like make Rive offline. There's lots of questions that need to get answered, like not file dependency, but like when you work on a Unity project, you have to resolve, like you can work offline, and then if it gets uploaded, you have to make sure that you're not overriding changes and things like that. So it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of other things that we've prioritized as of now. We'll see if an offline version is in the future. Hopefully so. My internet got knocked out the other day. I was like a month ago, and I was like, oh, I wish it was here. So definitely understand. Cool. All right, let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get out of here. Give folks a couple more minutes to ask a couple more questions. All right, as a reminder, what's today? What is today? Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow, we've got Spanish live stream with Laura and JC.
Yes.
That'll be at 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then at 11 Central, I'll be doing a creative session. And we've decided, democracy has dictated that I make menus. There'll be different menu pages, and each menu page I make will get slightly more complex with the interactivity that we have to put in or the way that we have to build it until we run out of time.
The chat say menu, eh?
Yep.
There's some person here say menu, so.
Yep. So we're going to do menu. And then Thursday, we're going to do a workshop on nested inputs. We'll look at some examples. We'll talk about workflows. We'll talk about some terminology, some way to think about how you should be using events and inputs and things like that. And that will be at 10 a.m. Central on Thursday. I think there is an event in Discord. There is. So if you want to sign up for that, you can, and we can see everybody who's coming to that. Other than that, is there anything else that I have forgotten to mention?
No, only the thing, the Lisbon event that we have. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday, no?
It's either Wednesday and Thursday or Thursday and Friday.
Thursday. No, I think it's Wednesday and Thursday. I think, I'm not sure now. But the widow was we're talking Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out if there's going to be a recording of that released? All right, we're going to get ourselves a stenographer who can type it up. That's a lie. Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, Jeff, is whether or not
Yeah,
the
I'm
talk
not
is
sure
gonna be
if it's yeah.
streamed. I don't think it's going to be streamed. There may be a recording of it up later, and if there is, we'll make sure that everybody, or that we share the link so everybody can watch it. I'm sure we'll stick it on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, we'll see. Other than that, I think that's all we got. Unless there's any last minute questions, which I don't think there are, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow and Thursday. And yeah, that'll be it.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Thanks.